Thanks for coming out to the beautiful EMA Members Lounge here in the heart of Culver City, California. My name is Dr. Kerry Neal. Welcome to another exciting live version of Urban Birds and Bees. Give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you for coming out. And we have an amazing guest. And first of all, we got an amazing topic. We're going to be talking about dating the single mom. And this could not be a better conversation to have than the one and only Ayesha. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, just really quickly, now she's an author, a wellness advocate, yoga instructor, and a perimenopause consultant. And now she's the visionary owner of the Zen Fit Flow Wellness Studio. Give a round of applause. Located in the heart of Inglewood, California. Loving it.
Thank you. Yes,
a space that she describes as a home for women seeking renewal.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing. So
yes.
Awesome. And I was going to ask you if that was just for women or men?
No, it's for men and women.
It is?
Yeah, I have a whole segment for men and andropause because y'all got a thing too.
Oh. Well, let's not
That's
stop
a whole
that
different
again.
subject.
Okay. Well, again, I'm Dr. Kerry Neal. I'm the host and moderator for Urban Birds and Bees, and we thank you all for coming out. Just a little bit about this. So now what makes this conversation even more meaningful, right, is that Ayesha herself has gone through a profound rebirth. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, again, you may know her as Ayesha Roshaun, but today she steps fully into her new name identity, Ayesha Roshaun Vines. We need to kind of a little bit about that. So
We'll talk about that.
So again, welcome, Ayesha.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your invite, and I can't wait to dive in.
Yeah, and we've been trying to get this going on for a couple of years now. Like,
more than a few.
well, more than
like,
yeah, it's been a while. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, here we are. Well,
And here we are.
yeah. Well, no perfect time like the present. So anyway, so let's just kind of start with the rebirth. So tell us about this rebirth that you've gone through, and we're going to dive into some of the other stuff. So talk a little bit about that.
The rebirth. Well, the rebirth actually started in 2011. And it took me, I want to say even now, because my kids were very young in 2011 when I got a divorce in 2010. It was final in 2011.
How long were you married?
I was married for 3 years, but had been with him and around him for since we were 19.
Okay. How many kids you guys have together?
We have 2 together.
2, okay.
Yeah, I have 3 total, but my ex-husband and I have 2. They're now 15 and 17.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, you're still dealing with the teen thing. Okay.
Yeah,
But I'm sort of curious. Well, first of all, because amazing book, by the way, Dating a Single Mom. But I want to give a little room and space and opportunity for you to breathe and talk about this new yoga studio. Tell us a little bit about the Zen Fit Flow Wellness Studio and how that came about.
Oh, that just that definitely birthed over this past year. Since I've been teaching at Iconics Fitness in Inglewood, I fell upon a coffee shop, Awakening coffee
So
shop.
you're a fitness instructor by profession.
Yeah, so fitness instructor. I have my own fitness brand. I've been having my own fitness brand for now 8 years. Mindset coaching, fitness, also nutrition coaching. And then when my daughter turned 14, I decided to get into my Zen space.
Okay, gotcha.
The 14-year-old energy, girl energy just took me there.
Yeah.
So I needed to, so that it wouldn't strangle anybody.
Yeah.
I became an instructor and yoga instructor, now practitioner, back in just over the past 2 years. So practitioner over the past year. I've been teaching yoga for 4 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So now let's get to the book, Dating a Single Mom. So obviously you went through a divorce. So I assume that you, after going through divorce and things like that, obviously you're an attractive woman. So brothers were obviously trying to holler. Obviously they're trying to holler, right? Yeah.
Well, when I got divorced, I actually, now that I can talk about it in a healing space,
Okay.
I actually hated men after my divorce, yes.
Okay.
So anytime I seen male energy coming my way, naturally, my energy would just repel. like them off. As soon as I would look the other way, I wouldn't give them energy. I wouldn't acknowledge them because I knew I had to heal first, and I had.
So you're just kind of like asexual during this time, like
yes,
it's just kind of like I'm not dealing, I'm focused. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then over that time, I started doing more inner child work because one of my life coaches was like, you have some anger issues. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm angry. I was in denial. And in this process, my son was very young and he was in preschool and kindergarten. He started pinching the girls and biting the girls and scaring the teachers were calling me. And I'm like, what's happening? Because I have a background that's really grounded. My mom raised me and my brother in a grounded, environment. And I just couldn't imagine me being angry. But then when I delved deeper into the inner child, I learned that I was angry with my dad. I was angry with my stepdad. And then, of course, angry with my ex-husband. So with that anger, that I actually had to learn that I, had, my son was acting up. And once I learned that, I worked really hard on clearing that energy. And once I cleared that energy, he went from the tyrant kindergartner kid to like an A student, in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. And that just really, really opened my eyes to how we carry energy and how it impacts any and everyone around us, including the first people around us. If we're mothers or fathers, our children.
So I want to unpack that a little bit. So, because I think this is really crucial, right? I was reading a good friend of mine, Tracy Johnson. She's a huge champion. And I think her movement is called the Daddy-Daughter Dilemma. And she talks about her own experience. And her mom will be coming on our live podcast too. So I'm happy to say that as well. But one of the things that she talks about is that the first relationship a young woman has, a little girl, has with a man typically is her father. And that frames and shapes the way that she sees the world, understanding boundaries and things like that.
Yes.
And however functional or dysfunctional it is, can really have a ripple effect in terms of who you are even today. And then another longtime mentor of mine, Donald Bell, talked about the idea of, he called it daddy hunger, a father hunger. And he talked about that, he's been in ministry like 35, 40 years. He said over 99% of all of the women he's counseled over those years, at the epicenter of their issue had to do with something that had connected to their father.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
I do believe that.
Could you just share just a little bit about the dynamic of, because I think people need to hear this, right? Again, we try to keep it very honest, therapeutic, and real, because we want to get down to the core thing, because we want to see Black love flourish in our community. Could you share us a little bit about the dynamics of your growing up with your father and your mom? And you said a stepfather, so I assume that your mom divorced your dad and so forth. So.
Well, my mom kept me very close to my dad's side of the family. Fortunately, my dad happened to be in the streets. He was a gangbanger. He was a drug dealer. And then he ended up being in and out of jail. And I always craved, like any little girl would want to have their father around, right? And so my mom said, you have to choose your family or the streets. What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna keep bringing our child to, the prison to come visit you. You definitely have to. I was wondering how that was gonna work.
I thought you did.
I thought the minute you said was a drug dealer and all of a sudden.
I know.
Surround the facility.
They're like, we looking for him. Where he at?
Right.
All of a sudden the background, Papa was
And that's what he was too.
Sorry about that Facebook land, but we are hood adjacent. So.
Hood adjacent.
So anyway, ta-da.
And here we go.
Okay.
So back to my father. He was a Rolling Stone, like he said, and he also was a drug dealer. But he was in and out of jail. The times that he actually was out of jail, my mom allowed us to visit.
Okay.
He lived with older brothers and sisters, and so I would go spend the night with my cousins. So I still have a very healthy relationship with my father's side of the family. And because I had that abandonment issue, every time I felt like we got closer, he would end up in jail again.
Ooh.
So then my mom dated my stepfather when, as young as I can remember, I was 3 or 4. And she dated him for a long time before she married him. So I got to know him, and then they got married, and we ended up being one big happy family for a little bit. And then what I can remember is that my stepfather, he is to this day an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic. I learned later in my life he was also a drug user. And so there was a lot of abuse in the house, verbal, emotional. It turned to physical. My mom is a gangster. I mean, not literally, but she has tough skin, and she didn't go for the physical. She would fight back. So I seen a lot of that coming up. And also, too, because I was the firstborn out of 2 children from my mom. Okay. I was the one who got the brunt end of the stick of her stress, of her anger, of all the things. So our relationship had been strained over the years, although I really wanted my mom's relationship. I wanted her attention. I wanted that healthy relationship. And so fast forward to my relationships with men in general. It was searching for the father figure in men.
Like how? Like describe how you understand now how you were, because this is important. Because I'm just gonna go on a limb that some of you guys have daddy issues. Facebook land, some of you guys have daddy issues. Give me what you learned you were doing that once you went to therapy and was able to realize, also this is what I'm doing. If you can share some of that with us, give us the cheat code on some things you were doing and what you corrected.
I was looking for the attention that I didn't get from my dad. And when I didn't get it, I would like throw tantrums or get mad or start arguments, or, because it wasn't about them. They didn't know what I was going through, but I knew what I wanted. And if I didn't get it, then it was an issue. Also too, just
so you were you like very clingy, so to speak?
Very clingy, very needy.
Where are you?
Yep. And if I felt like they would be out too long or, hanging out with their friends, it was a control thing. I was very controlling. No longer controlling, because now I feel and I know that I've healed from that.
Sure.
Because there's nothing I can do about what a person does or doesn't do.
Sure.
It's all about making sure I'm grounded and I'm okay, because that's who I'm going to attract. We're mirrors. And now fast forward, I understand that because we're mirrors, we are who we attract. And in relationships, a lot of that comes up. So I was mirroring what I seen at home, because as soon as I didn't get what I wanted, then it would trigger me, and then it would trigger the other person to arguments. Then they want to be out and away from me or not around me. So it doesn't matter how pretty you are or how good looking you are. It really matters of your character. And so I noticed my character was very flawed. So I had to get past the anger that I had been carrying for years, up into, I wouldn't say 10 years ago, and didn't realize I was angry.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting point. So while you were going through this, where you talked about you were seeking the love, attention you didn't get from your father, did you have an idea, or you just thought this was just the way of life? You had no idea that what you were experiencing in your relationship was not connected to the deficit with your dad? Or did you kind of know and you just felt you had some kind of way of sort of managing? I'm just curious.
I was like a disaster emotionally, because I didn't know. My mom wasn't the most like compassionate person. She was very distant emotionally as well, because she was dealing with whatever she was dealing with from her dad, from my dad, and from my stepdad. So all I know is I was like pleading and begging for this relationship with my mom that she didn't even know how to have with me. Fast forward to today, our relationship is better in our 50s and she's in her 70s than it's ever been in my lifetime, because now there's an awareness and clarity on all those years of just like.
So did you and your mom go to therapy together or separate, or how did that sort of get better over time, so to speak?
So in my first book, because this is my second book we're going to be talking about,
Okay.
I tap into what was lacking for me from my mom. I was very liberal in my sharing in the book because my mom was, I want to say it, but she was emotionally abusive. So there was like drag out fights, name calling, whatever from her. And in public, it would seem like, oh, they have the best mother-daughter relationship.
Right.
When behind these four walls, that wasn't going down.
Yeah.
So I had to come to peace with that. And she kept us, me and my brother, in therapy, codependency and all this stuff, Al-Anon, Alateen, all the things. But when it came to us healing as mother and daughter, she specifically said, I don't need to do no work. I don't want to do the work. So I was like, well, I have daughters now, and I want to be able to release them from the cyclical, toxic energy of what I was in. And now me and my daughters, even though we've had our tug of wars, because that's just comes with parenting, they're free to speak and express themselves, and if we do have a moment, like we address that moment, and I'm very expressive. I'm human. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna, be mad. I'm gonna be hurt. They have to understand that we're not machines.
Yeah.
So now they're able to see me in that, and I wasn't able to see my mom in that.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was reading somewhere. I may have saw it on social media, and this gentleman, he was talking about I think it was the 5 people you need to forgive or something like that. It was the 5 people you need to forgive. And the first one he talked about was forgive your parents, no matter what they've done. Now this is hard. I know Oprah right now, she's talking about this whole thing in terms of how some children have cut their parents off, don't talk to them, they're estranged from their parents, and some parents are estranged from their kids and things like that. And we know some trifling stuff probably is going on, right? But he talked about forgive your parents for whatever they've done. And one of the things, and I would imagine this is the case with you as well, there was a concern, that maybe you began to understand that your parents are really just a byproduct of their parents.
Absolutely.
That their nonsense, what you've experienced, it wasn't like they had this amazing family and they just decided to be trifling towards you. That's not the case. It's usually kind of passed down through generation. We call that epigenetics. The genetic that's genetically coded that can be passed on to generation unless there's intervention. So could you just give us a little slice of how you came to sort of reconcile, okay, these are my parents, but they're only doing what they know and so forth, and how that may have contributed to your being a catalyst for your healing and a broader perspective, so to speak?
From what I can remember, and this is a dad-daughter thing, I was more willing to forgive my dad because it just was like I didn't know he chose the streets. But the caveat to that is once I gave birth to my son, which is my third child, my dad sat on the couch with me and told me, which was closure for me, and told me, I wish I would have chose my family because your mom gave me a choice. And I chose the streets. And knowing what I know today, he even shed a tear. I was 35 years old with my son who was maybe 7 days old, and he was telling me that. And I was like, what? And even when my dad died, my mom sent me his driver's license from back when they were dating. So when I was a child and even as a teenager and a young adult, I absolutely adored my dad because I felt like he was the person who helped my mom make me, And I felt like we developed a relationship based on only what he knew. And so I was willing to forgive him before I forgave my mom.
Okay.
My mom was present. She worked hard. She provided a roof over our head. She provided clothes. She did the best that she can do. And she created that survival mode in me. Literally, I'm the person I am today because of the way that she raised me. But there was a side of that where I was just I just wish I had more of the compassion, more of the mom-daughter talks or time or, you know, and I didn't get that. And I saw my friends, so I would go to my friend's house who had would appear to be healthy relationships with their parents and would want to just sit in the room with them to soak up that energy because I didn't have that. And so even over the years, I mean, there was a time where me and my mom didn't talk for years. And then unfortunately, my brother got into a bad car accident, which is now he has brain damage. And we're 7 years apart.
Wow.
But that's when I was able to show up for my mom because she was divorced from my stepdad and didn't have really anyone to support her. But I feel like you only get one mom.
Yeah.
You know, and that, to your point, forgiving your parents. And I feel like because as a child, they called me the little old lady from Pasadena. I was before my time. You know, I was a little more mature because I hung out with my grandparents. I hung out with my older aunts and uncles. And I was able to kind of flip the script and be more of a mom to my mom. And even now, like, we've matured so much in our relationship that she's like, can you be my power of attorney if something ever happens to me? And I was like, what? Like, you're really asking me that? Because we've grown into that space now, being at this big old age, I say. To know that we only got each other at the end of the day. And I told my daughters, I was like, look, something happened to me, you only get one of me. I said, and so let's not sit up on a log and be mad at each other for years and weeks and months and whatever, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. So to me, I just felt like my walk in this life was to heal my family, including my mom.
So how did you, again, Facebook Live, everyone, we're talking to Ayesha and we're talking about dating a single mom. And so we're kind of taking a journey from her past to now, and we'll be getting to the book. But I'm just curious, before we get more into specifics of your book, what turned the light on for you that said, I need to talk to somebody? I need to kind of recalibrate what led to that? Were you watching a TV show, watching a movie, read a book, watching Oprah? What was it?
Vividly, I could see and know the answer to that question. My first book. So when I got a divorce from my ex-husband, I was going through postpartum. And I didn't realize that there's different phases of postpartum. Because each one of my children had postpartum, but it wasn't like severe. So my third child, I was out there in these streets trying to figure out, how am I going to be a mom of three? Like, nobody's going to want me. Like, how do I do this, right? And so, again, survival mode had to kick in. I did have some support from some friends, strangers more so, that turned to friends. And I lost it one day emotionally. I was at work. I worked for Kaiser at the time. My son was, I was pregnant. You know, my son was 7 months. And I called Kaiser because I worked for Kaiser, and I was like, I need some mental health. Like, I need to be okay because I don't feel okay. And I called, didn't know that I wasn't supposed to call this hotline to let them know that I want to bash my ex-husband.
So you were clear something's not right, the way I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
I talked to my mom prior to me calling, and she was like, she felt like something was off, and she was like, "Oh, go get some rest." I actually talked to my mother-in-law at the time because we were separated, so I didn't tell them what was happening to me. But I just felt like, okay, I gotta call somebody that understands, and I felt like this hotline at Kaiser, those were the people.
Right.
So I was expressing just like authentically, like, separated from my ex-husband. I feel like I want to bash him over the head with a bat because I want him to feel my pain. You know, I'm overwhelmed at work. I love my children, but I'm just tired. And as I was explaining this to the other person on the line, they were like, okay, asking me all these line of questions. I'm like, no. I'm not going to kill myself. Not going to kill my kids. Not going to. And then she was like, I need you to drive to the emergency room.
Interesting.
Why do I need to do that? So I didn't second guess. I just wanted to listen to the guidance, thinking it was guidance.
Sure.
And then I have a spiritual sister I was like, okay, I'm about to go to the hospital because I feel like off mentally. And can you take the kids while I go check myself out? Sure. Drop the kids off, go. And then I go, the doctor, the nurse, they're waiting. And it's sick people, 30 sick people in there.
They were waiting
They
for
were
you?
waiting for me. And so I was like, this is odd because there's a lot of sick, and I'm not sick. I'm not even mentally sick. I need some just regulation. So they admit me. They ask all these stream of questions. They have a psychologist come in, a psychiatrist. Then I get on the line with the emergency response team. Still don't know who that is. Didn't know there was child services. Oh, so are you diagnosed with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? I was like, no, I just having a moment. That's it. Well, we're going to take you to this tranquil place to where you can just kind of decompress. The kids are with family. You know, we'll call your job and make sure you get time off. Okay, well, let me just call my sister and let her come pick me up. No, you're going to get in the ambulance. So it ended up being
A
the
5150?
5150.
Wow.
Didn't know. That was my wake-up call because I ended up getting admitted into not the 72 hour, but they cleared all my stuff. I had a roommate who was doing this kind of stuff, and I was like, if anybody's gonna go crazy, it's gonna be me right now, cause this ain't it. I didn't ask for this.
They treat you all nice and the whole bit.
I'm like calling to ask for help. I'm not calling to go into an asylum or something.
That's a mandatory 72-hour hold, right?
No, I didn't go into the 72-hour hold.
Okay.
I didn't. It was just more so.
I thought that was the default too.
That was the option.
Okay.
But because I wasn't going crazy based on all the tricks that they threw me in, because you can go crazy in that.
Yeah.
They decided, okay, we're just going to keep you overnight. So then now all the phone, I only got one call, called my aunt at the time because my aunt and I were very, very close. And she was just like, I cannot believe this, Ayesha. I'm going to come and get you. And I was like, you can't come get me. I was like, I don't know what they're going to do.
How old were you at this time?
I was
mid-30s, late 30s?
I was late 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, so before I was 40. So yeah, I was like about 37, 38. And then I was like, they came in and I was under the covers and they were asking me, ma'am, are you okay? I'm like, nope, I'm not okay. I don't want to be here. I didn't ask to be here. I'm not taking no medication. Y'all need to get me out of here. And so then they had the psychiatrist come because now before the psychiatrist came, there was the emergency response team social worker, and he was a male chauvinist and was like, yeah, you one of them pretty girls gone crazy. I was like, what? I'm like, I just called somebody for help. They're like, you drove your ex-husband crazy and whatever. Okay. So long story short, ex-husband MIA. So then the emergency response team went to my kids. My oldest daughter, her dad came right away to pick her up. Okay. They wanted to take my kids into a foster care separate. So my sister was like, no, don't do this to these kids. They don't even deserve
all of this, and you were just asking for help. That's crazy.
And then on top of that, my mom cussed me out on the phone about why didn't you da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, Mom, I don't need that right now. Like, I don't even know what's happening in my life. And so my aunt, so the psychiatrist came to see me, and she was like, you don't need to be in this facility. We'll do a day therapy for you where you could come in the day for about 4 hours and then you could go home and all the things. So when I went through about 6 social workers, psychiatrists, psychologists, all the things, then guess what I get to do? Go to child services court because now my kids are in the system. But fortunately, my mother-in-law adopted my kids. And when my social worker came, they have to go through your house. They got to look through the things. She said, we see this type of stuff every day and you're in the wrong place.
Look, we need to stop. We don't need to talk about this dating a single mom. We need to talk more about this. This is crazy. We'll do another podcast.
Yeah, that was my wake-up call. So my wake-up call is it's for 3 months. I was in day therapy with these people, listening to how they medicate mental ill patients as test rats. You know, they give them the highest dosage of this medicine, and then that's why they're all and doing all. And I'm like, all right, I gotta go. Can I go? Like, can I just leave? So then the social worker that was, you know, he was assigned to me. He just is like, I need to have a very like frank talk with you. He's like, you're falling into a system of people pleasing, and people really get sick behind it. You need to stop worrying about what your mom thinks, what your mother-in-law thinks, what your aunt, uncle, cousins, whatever they think. You need to get out of there and just do you and raise these kids. And so he was using the F-bombs and all the things.
Right.
So I was like, okay, say less. Thank you for letting me know. He was like, we're going to discharge you. Psychiatrist was like, you don't need meds. Get somebody to come pick you up, and we'll release you so you could go see your psychologist. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. Like, I had to go through all this, but it was a learning lesson because the attractor factor to that is I was not aware that I had something on me from this cycle of toxicity that goes rooted down into like my ancestors. You know what I mean? And then now I get to be the person who changes the trajectory of that.
Yeah. No.
So my therapy on top of having my psychologist was, I mean, I had to go through the courts. In the child service court, you're hearing kids getting killed because they're releasing their kids back to their parents who are abusive. And I'm like, but I'm not that parent. Like, why?
Right.
And so to your question, that was my wake-up call to get it right.
Let's give her a round of applause for enduring that and coming through it. Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh God. Okay, so wow, take a moment there. Okay, so let's talk about the book. Now, it's interesting. The title of the book is Dating the Single Mom: What Men Should Know and what Women Need to Do. Let's talk about the latter part of the subtext. What is it, from your understanding, from your obviously inspiration, what is it that single mothers need to do, I would assume, in preparation for dating, prior to, afterwards, or while dating? Talk about that, please.
So I have a tagline. I made a T-shirt and a mug, a coffee mug behind it. The tagline is dating crossed out. Collecting
data. I've never seen that yet.
So collecting data. It's very important. Ask the tough questions. Have the tough conversations. You'll really get to know who the person is off of that.
Okay, so we want to make this very easy and simple for everybody on Facebook. They're here. Whoever's going to watch this, right? Give us a sample of some of the tough questions that obviously need to be asked that don't get asked, particularly by single moms when they're dating.
How do you feel about children? And wait. And they could either be very vague or they can say, I have children myself. If they don't have children, they'll say, I don't have children. Some men will not date a single mom because of the stigma. And I feel like I'm a part of removing that stigma.
Yeah.
How do you feel about women? What's your relationship with your mother? Like that says a lot. I've dated a man once I opened myself up to date again from my divorce, who was like just very, very like smooth, right? And when I asked that question, he said it. He said, I can't stand my mother. Okay.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So if a guy says, I can't stand my mom, or if a guy says, oh, I love my mom, right? Does that immediately, should it disqualify them for consideration in terms of dating? What are your thoughts on that?
I would ask, why don't you like your mom?
Okay.
So these are the tough questions. These are the hard conversations.
Yeah.
I've had guys get very defensive. I had guys walk away. I have guys call me a bitch and walk away. Like, excuse me, Facebook. But, that tells you in itself.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a guy who's grounded or has done the work or doing the work, they're like, I'm working through some things in regards to my mom. Why? Well, because when I was a child, this, that, and the third happened. Or if they say my mom bitched and moaned all the time and I couldn't stand it or whatever, then you're gonna have a problem with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because women overall, just like men, we have similarities. So if I do something that's similar to what triggered you with your mom, then you're definitely gonna get triggered in the wrong direction with me. When it comes to guys that don't have children, I just met a couple guys that don't have children, and one is absolutely not, I won't date a single mom. Another one's like, I'm really willing to reconsider it because the majority of women have kids these days. And I'm like, okay, and your mom was a single mom at some point, based on whatever reasons why.
Right.
And so with the openness to that, then that gives me something to work with.
Yeah.
Versus being shut down, and then you might be mean to my kids, or you might harm my kids. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to introduce you to my kids until I'm 1,000% comfortable with how our interaction is.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, so first of all, I think I read somewhere, I think it was in the Washington Post, and it said that the statistics said that if you wait to get married as early as 25 years old, there is some 60 to 70% chance that your first encounter with marriage is likely to be as a step parent. Very interesting. So we'll make sure I say that again. If you wait until the age of 25, which seems like a very, in many cases, that's like early.
Young,
right?
yeah.
There's a 60 to 70% chance that you are entering into that marriage as a step parent, meaning the person that you're married, whether it be the man or the woman, has a kid. Very interesting. So with that being the case, not everybody has children, but a lot of women do have children, particularly in our community, right? So we have unmarried parents. So we don't put the stigma on women, unmarried parents. But we're talking about single moms right now. What is your sense of when it is okay to allow the man that you're dating to, they should know you have kids early on, first date, according to you're saying, but have introduced their kids to this particular gentleman? What are your thoughts on that from your experience?
Well, I'm just going to disclose, I fumbled the ball a lot in that.
But there's a lot of insight from that too, from fumbling.
Absolutely.
Right? So tell us about that post-fumbling and what you learned from that.
What I've learned from that is really get to know the person, their character.
What does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
Again, back to having the hard conversations, being around them in their environments and how, now in this big old age, I want to see how you are around your friends, even sometimes around your family. Like, I've been pulled into environments from men where they're in their element. And you might see me in sweat clothes most of the time, but then when I step out of sweat clothes, I've had men tell me, you make me feel insecure. And why do I make you feel insecure? Because you're so pretty. And I feel like you're not going to be faithful, or other men. I don't like the fact that other men are going to try to talk to you, even if we're together. That's a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that means, you don't want me to enhance my face. You don't want me to wear lipstick. You want me to be plain. You don't want me to be me. And I need to authentically 1,000% be who I am without you feeling intimidated or insecure. Then that turns to some type of abuse. Immediately, that's what I think about.
It's, that's so funny. If a guy, ladies, Facebook land, if a guy tells you, I'm feeling insecure because you're so pretty, you should say this to them. Okay, so how should I shrink myself so that you feel better?
You know what I said?
What's that?
Because the way that they said it was like, so if we ever get together, I'm going to tell you. And I said, you're going to tell me what? And then they chuckled just like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're a little fiery. I was like, no. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to change who I am to conform and belittle myself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as a man and a woman, we should uplift each
Right.
other.
Exactly.
Like we're giving you, it's a value thing, and it's a reciprocity thing. So if I'm pouring into you, I'm really hoping that you will pour into me to help me be better, because I'm going to help you be better. Right? That's the help me part.
Yeah. So okay, so well, the kid thing makes sense in terms of maybe it's the timing, gotta get to know the guy, ask the tough questions, you're not gonna shrink. What else, whether it's connected to you being a single mom or just being a woman, would you recommend as part of the do things that women need to do in preparation for dating?
So from my background, I had a kid out of wedlock, my first child, and then I had 2 kids being married.
Right.
So that comes with a lot of stuff, unpacking to do. So before getting into a relationship with a man,
Wait, hold on. I can't let you. Give me a sample of the stuff. Like, what is the stuff that comes with? Give me, like, for instance,
resentment, anger,
towards the father.
towards the father, just not releasing the
Okay.
baggage
Okay.
from that, anger, resentment, shaming yourself. For
You guys, isn't
not-
this interesting? This is hella interesting,
Yeah,
right?
shaming yourself for not, having a healthy relationship and now having to be a single mom, a statistic in the world that what society shows it to be, but and being able to heal through that and finding why. Okay, I had one child out of wedlock. All right, whatever. I was ready to have a kid. He wasn't. Guess what? I'm gonna take the responsibility. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a successful mom. Moving past that, now I'm married, trying to do it right according to the book, right? And it still fails. So now it's like, am I good enough? So having to heal through those moments so that you can attract. They say you're the person for you, because if you're broken, you're gonna attract a broken man. If you're doing the work, you're gonna meet a man that is doing the work. It's an awareness thing, and you have to forgive yourself first, because it's easy to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna forgive you. I'm good," but are you really good?
A moment of transparency here, right? Like, we keep it very transparent. So growing up, I had like gap teeth growing up, right? And my siblings were brutal. I'm the youngest of 4. They called me Beaver. They said I could bite an apple through a fence. They were just relentlessly on me, right? And so, just kind of funny jokes growing up. But what that did, it really caused a point of insecurity in me that when someone could just tell a joke, it would hit hard and nobody would know, right? So what I learned to do was do some self-talk in terms of, this is a joke. They're not really coming against me. Just like I'll laugh at a comedian telling a joke or someone else, I'm the person being focused. So I had to actually and even today, I still have to do this. Somebody tells me, oh yeah, it's not something to get all bent out about. It is just a joke. So in a very similar way, right, talk about the contrast, because you sound like a very healthy person now, right? Talk about what you do differently now as a single mom. And are you dating someone, or just open?
I just recently started opening myself to date.
Got it. So talk about the process of where you were and what are you doing differently now that position you for more relationship success based on what you've learned.
What I notice now is I'm attracting that guy.
Ooh, talk more about that. So the ladies can hear, because you talk to some of these folks, they act like that the good men don't exist. It's like they're on another planet.
Well, at one point I did think that. But I'm attracting the guy who's willing to have the tough conversations. I'm attracting the guy who's willing to really get a kick out of the questions. Like, ooh, I got questions too. Ooh, so it's like a exchange of energy, because it's an energy thing. We're all energy. So now that I'm like, I love myself more.
Yeah.
I didn't love myself like I love myself now. And I'm okay with not having anyone, because no one makes me. And I have to make myself be the person I need and want to be for the person that want a healthier relationship. So I was on the search of a man, my man. I was on the search for the wrong man because I would attract the alcoholics. I would attract the emotionally unavailable man. And even now, you know, it's still work. I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect.
I would say we always doing the work, right?
Right. But I'm noticing that as I come into loving myself more first, even before my kids, because I have to learn that too, then now I'm starting to draw in energies of a man that is open to the healing, to the healed woman, to the, like, let's have the conversations. Let's be friends. You know, instead of jumping in the bed. I'm not gonna even lie. Like, to me, I thought having sex was like, oh, he loves me. No, it's not. Especially being an attractive woman, the first thing they do, men are visual. So an unhealed man or a man who's just out just for the good time and not a long time is sex. So now it's like, when I have those conversations with the men that I'm starting to attract, they're like, I am a man. I do like physical, but I respect you. So now because I love myself and respect myself, then I'm attracting the man that respects and love themselves, which means a lot.
Okay, so I want to ask you to do something. So you said that you learned to love yourself and you didn't love yourself before. Okay, so we want to help some people, right? So give us an example, 1 or 2 or 3 examples of ways that you weren't loving yourself, and you probably didn't know that you weren't loving yourself, but after going through a healing process and journey, you're like, damn, I wasn't even loving myself, but I love myself now. So you have a very clear understanding that you love yourself now, but there's a point in time that wasn't the case. What was going on where you could say that was maybe unique to you, but someone else may be in a very similar place that you weren't loving yourself? Give me an example. 2 or 3.
I just didn't like where I was in my life. Although I had a lot of success with work and career and all the things, I felt incomplete without having a person. I felt having a man made me complete. And
where do you think that came from? Where do you think that mindset came from, that you needed a man to be complete?
Because I didn't have my dad. Like, I wanted to have him. So I wanted that male figure in my life to be accepted. And I felt like because a man didn't accept me and I had abandonment issues, then something was wrong with me. But then nothing's wrong with me even if I don't have a man, because I have to be whole and complete with Ayesha first before adding any human man in my life that is going to love me authentically. So I felt like I was portraying this person of strength, and when I go home, I ain't strong. I don't like myself, you know?
So wait a minute. So in your book, you kind of address this, right? So talk a little bit about this, and speak to whoever will be listening, who's going to listen to this, who's maybe here now. Talk to the woman, whether single mom or just single, and they don't have a good relationship with their dad. The dad was trifling, he wasn't around, he was emotionally unavailable, whatever it is, but there's a huge deficit that exists with the dad. Based on what you've gone through, based on the therapy you've gone through, what would you say to that person? How would you advise that person?
I would just say, get yourself in environments with like-minded women. Meaning, there's a ton of women going through this lack of having a father figure in their life. And when you get around those people, even the successful women have this dad issue, right? But they mask themselves behind all the success, so they don't let people in, right? So when you go out into these environments, you'll learn that, there's other women out there like me. I'm not the only one, you know, because we feel like, dang, I'm the only one going through. Nobody wants me with 3 kids. Who's going, even with 1 kid, who really wants me? And if they want me, are they real? Are they sincere? Are they authentic? Or they know that I'm such, I'm so distracted with being a mom that I come off desperate. And there's those people, those men out there that take advantage of single moms.
Oh, for real.
Because of that. So it's just that's one thing. Get in environments to where you see other women that are thriving, that have similar issues. How do you do that? You just got to just go. Like, go out. And because that's what I did. I knocked my head up against the wall a couple times. I met the wrong women. I've got burned by women. I've got, so I've had that too. But you have to be willing to go through the trenches. Also too, outside of therapy, we have YouTube now. We have all of these hubs where you can pull up depression. You can pull up healing through. We got Oprah talking about it now. You know what I mean? We got Halle Berry talking about it now. And these are women in high places in society that are suffering. And we didn't know that because they were portraying. All I hear is, oh, you just seem like you make it look so easy. You're just, trust me. Even like yesterday, I was having issues with my mindset. But then when you know who your tribe is, who you can call on, because you can't call on everybody to tell them that you're going through this. You got to know who to trust. And then just do the work, like meaning meditate, go to yoga. These are other places you can meet other women and men. Yoga. Now we got sound bath therapy. You have, all these healing platforms to go. Like these people, these ladies didn't know you before coming here. They come to the gym with me, right?
Right.
And now we're developing relationships. But now
you guys are all going to sign up for her gym, right?
Yes. And so now
year-long members, you're going to take advantage of that, right?
You're going to take, yeah, they are. Now they meet you and you're like, hey, there's another event happening next week. They need that. I needed that. But I was the vessel that was like, which way do I go? Like, I don't know, because I didn't have direction. So now I can be that tool for single moms that are going through what I went through to know that, oh, you got this. Like, oh, I got you, or whatever. I'll pull them into these spaces. I was sitting up today doing what I do as a yoga instructor, and a woman, a strong, incredibly beautiful woman, is in tears because she's going through a divorce. And when you look at her, you're like, not you, but you never know what people are going through. And she was like, just pray for me. I need your prayer. I need your energy. So now I get to be that vessel for those who feel like they don't have a voice, or they feel like they're going through it by themselves. I have books. That was my therapy. You know what I mean? Write a book, journal out. If you journal, then that could become your book, So it's just about getting out there. It's about doing the work mentally, emotionally, and loving yourself first. I had to learn to do that. I was holding my mom accountable for what she didn't do. I was holding my stepfather accountable because he was an alcoholic and an abuser. I was holding my ex-husband accountable because he was fake. I mean, I had to release all that in order to feel good.
Yeah. Have you? Would you say you have fully forgiven your mom and dad?
Oh yeah. So I went through something called the Landmark Forum. Some of y'all might heard about it.
Oh yeah, Landmark. Yeah. Try to get.
I've
never been,
twice.
but I know there was it was like folks trying to get you to go. It was like $500.
They say it's a cult, but it's not. Like I did other therapy outside of Landmark Forum, but I did Landmark Forum at 22. And then fast forward just early on this year.
But Jesus is free though.
Jesus is free. And you know what? It's a balance for me. Shout
out to Jesus.
I was raised in a very religious household. But for me, I was like, I gotta be able to make it more tangible to balance out God and the spirituality and all those things, right? So yes, I do believe in God. I believe in Jesus. But then one of my kids might grow up and be like, oh, I've decided not to do the religion thing. Okay, great. This is another part of it and how you can receive it, because it's still Bible-based. All this, secret and law of attraction derives from that. So I'm picking up books.
Yeah.
I'm listening to YouTubes.
Yeah.
I'm doing all those things. And then now I become that person because of, people don't know they're not. I'm a resource. I'm resourceful. If my mom's husband, now she's married for the second time, told my ex-husband before we got married, he was like, how do you feel about Ayesha doesn't need a man, but she wants a man? And he said, what I mean by that, I'm gonna give you an example. Ayesha, we could place her in a desert and she'll go find some water. But are you okay with that? Because that's how she had to navigate through life.
Yeah.
Then I had to get asked the question, Ayesha, are you willing to release your independence? And I was like, now I can like remember, and I was like, whoa, that's a loaded question. Because I've been independent for a long time.
Well, and you know what's interesting, it's kind of weird, but it's sort of safe to be independent because you rely on you, but you quickly learn you just can't do life just by yourself.
I would say interdependent, meaning
okay.
Interdependent, because we live in this empowered woman world now.
Yeah.
I don't need a man. I don't need a man. You have the alphas. You have the alpha woman. You have the A-type woman. Out of those two, one, yeah, I could depend on myself and provide for myself, but I want to be submissive. I want to have a lead, a man in my life, right? Then you have the other type alpha woman that's like, I don't need a man. I don't want a man. I can do what a man can do. I can da-da-da. I got pants. I got balls. I got all that. No, we don't. Like we don't have what they got.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second, right? So what is your opinion? Just your opinion.
Say that part again. Right.
I know, 'cause you think some women do have like golden.
No, there's women. Oh yeah.
So what are your personal thoughts about women who say, I don't need a man?
I breathe for them because they got a lot of unpacking to do.
Yeah. Do you think a woman could say that and they're coming from a completely healthy place?
There's two sides to that for the answer.
Okay.
Yes and no. Yes to the fact that, do we need a man? We were, I feel, made in the image of man and woman. And we were made, this is my belief, y'all, okay? We were made from a man. So womb man, the womb, we're carrying a human in our body, but we came from a man's body, technically, right? So then we're become that help me. So whatever the man is lacking, because now y'all missing something right here.
Right.
We're able to enhance that, help in that area. Foresight. We might see what you don't see.
Right.
But versus when I say no, we don't need a man, I would say emotionally, men are not built the way we're built.
No.
So when I say no to that, we're built to lick our wounds, get emotional help, go out and seek other women and resources quicker than a man will.
Okay.
And we will be okay. So that's why it's a two-part question.
Okay.
But I want a man. I want to be submissive. I want a companion. I don't want to,
Why do you want a man now? Why do you want a man now?
Why do I want a man now? Well, because I want companion.
When I say now, meaning because you're in a healed space in that sense now.
I want companionship. I want the inner exchange of the differences we have because we complement each other. And I want that. I feel like, I'm a happy person by myself, but I feel like we would add to each other's happiness as long as he's happy too with himself and not depending on me to put the diaper on, to put the bottle in his mouth, to do all that, because there are men out there that do that too.
Oh, so you want to have kids as well?
No grown kids. I already got 3, and I'm raising a boy. I'm raising him to be okay with being emotional. I want you to express yourself, and if you feel like you're about to cry, cry. You're not soft. You're human.
Right.
But don't get too dependent on the emotion.
Yeah.
But I do want you to tap in because, men are so disconnected emotionally, and especially now we're in this big space of, having dialogue about menopause. So we didn't have that. So now I get to have a conversation with my son about menopause, and he could be like, Mom, you're overstimulated right now. You're doing a lot.
I mean,
and I'm like,
wow.
no,
he understands that.
Yeah, he understands. We did a whole like live on it before, me and my son. And I said,
wow.
help some of these boys learn about this menopause. Like, what would you suggest? Just breathe through it. It's
I forgot
temporary.
she has her own pocket. What's your podcast?
Oh, the Ayesha effect.
Okay, yeah.
Menopause talk.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yes.
I'm just curious. You guys got any questions, comments on the audience? Facebook Live. Sorry, you're kind of far from us. We can't field your questions, but
Drop your questions in the comments. We'll answer.
yeah.
Question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So is it easier to date now that your kids are up in age? And is it easier well, it's two parts to it. Is it easier to date? And is it easier for you to, well, faster, you can bring someone home faster because they are up in age versus when they were younger?
Well, because I've. Okay. So the question is because my kids are teenagers now, is it easier for me to date and maybe introduce them sooner than it was when they were younger? I fumbled the ball. So my kids have met two men that I've dated over time, and they remember the person like vividly. So now that they're older, they're more aware. They're like, we have a tracking system and everything. I've been open to dating and I've been going on dates. And as teenagers, they're like, who's over here, Mom? You was over here for a long time. You know how you say you know us? We know our mom. You dating, huh? You got a new boo? So they'll ask. It's a little harder now because they're able to, boom, like identify when my behavior changes. Versus when they were younger. You know, I might could give them to a babysitter or, you know, their dad would take them for the weekend. So now it's a little harder because they have been introduced to a couple men that I've dated. Do I want to bring a current person that I'm dating at this time? I think I would give it a little more time so I could vet the person more.
So what's the time?
I don't talk more about. Give us some numbers, even if it's just
Is
estimated.
it 90 days? Is
Right.
it 6 months? Is it a year?
So now, timeline-wise, I would give it 6 months. Because in our mature age, I mean, in 3 months, you kind of know if you want to move further.
Yeah.
But 6 months to me, when you're with someone at our age, you kind of know that might be your life partner. So now going into being open about dating now, I'll give yes, definitely. So 3 months, if they ain't it, they're not meeting my kids.
Right.
6 months, I'll consider it.
Right.
So I have a question, right? So does someone else have a burning question?
Anybody else?
Okay, so I'm going to ask this real quick. Okay, so many of you guys know the infamous Kevin Samuels that was on, yeah. So he had sort of the mindset that, in depending on the conversation, not that a woman was just not valuable, but that your market value dropped when you were a mom. You had kids, whatever else, particularly in terms of a high value man. Anyway, we won't go deep into that. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I remember, he was interviewing, a lady called in, she was a single mom. And so she said, oh, well, I've chosen not to have sex until I get married. Okay. So his response was, say, you need to be trying to give that shit away, is what he said, right? Now,
God rest his soul.
yeah. So I'm curious, what is your opinion? Because the thinking here is that, look, you a single mom, you should be more willing, open to have sexual relations to help him gauge if he wants to be with you. And then there are some, whether because of their faith or their own personal standard, that they are going to refrain from sex until they get married. Okay, what's your take on that?
I have a lot of mixed feelings about that. Well, first
we keep it so honest up in here, don't we?
First thought is to each his own.
That's too much of a cop out.
No, I'm about to go into it right now.
Okay.
I'm a grown ass woman. I got needs. However, I'm going to be careful.
What does that mean? You're gonna be careful. What do you mean?
I'm going to
gonna use
vet
protection?
whether or not I'm going to have sex. It's a choice. I'm gonna vet, like, okay, if I'm in a moment where we're drinking or something out and I'm attracted to you, and maybe we've had a few dates,
Okay.
right? And alcohol can be the devil sometimes, right? It changes, it alters everything.
I heard champagne has an effect on women. Is that true?
I drink champagne.
Yeah.
I can handle myself under champagne.
Okay.
Tequila, however, whole nother thing.
Okay.
So if I'm having some 3 margaritas, you might can get it. I'm just gonna say.
Facebook land, everybody, you hear that? Just come with a
Not
bottle.
on the first date though. But I told you I'm grown, right? It has to be an attraction there because I'm still cognizant of what's happening, but the tequila is gonna alter that. I'm not gonna be this stiff person because we're grown, right? Mm-hmm. And I do know women and men who are like, oh, until my kids turn 18. Absolutely, I'm not doing that. And I get it. I see why they do that. I'm not knocking anybody's, reasoning on what they do. But on the flip side of that, if I've been outside lately,
right,
and I've met some qualified men, and I've actually gone on some dates. And immediately, the first date, okay, we could go to the second date. In the second date, okay, we could go to the third date. That third date, out of the couple that I've been dating, that third date, he ain't it. It ain't happening because he's already talking about when we gonna get in bed. And not only just that, but he's also, why you got lipstick on? Why you got eyelashes? Why you got blush on? Like, excuse me? Like, I can't be me? Like, I'm not,
the insecurity of men is wild to me sometimes.
Yeah.
That's
and whereas now, when I know that I can be open and liberal and talk to a person and it just organically starts to happen, then you may get more from me. But also too, I do refrain from having sex because sex also alters your interaction with the person. Because guys are hunters. And once they hunting for that piece of meat, right? When they get that meat, it's like, why I gotta go out and get some more? Why I gotta keep hunting you?
But the other part too is this, and are you guys interested in asking a question? Okay, let me say that and I'm gonna come back to you, okay?
Yes.
So, and particularly if the sex is good, right? I think that men and women, but I'm just talking from a man's perspective right now, we need to be as sober-minded as possible. And oftentimes, early on sex, particularly if it's amazing sex, can blur the line.
Absolutely.
So you're trying to determine, and let me say this, if you're not really worried about who you're trying to get with, I mean, in terms of you're not really trying to have a committed relationship like marriage or just an exclusive relationship beyond and beyond, I guess it really doesn't matter. So maybe you just like to date recreationally. But if you're looking for someone that you're trying to establish, I'm going to build my life with, it is my opinion that you need to be as clear-minded as possible, because good sex particularly, will have you giving it the benefit of the doubt. You'll say, that's not really a red flag. It's just kind of orangey. It's not.
Again, yes. It alters your mindset.
Yeah. So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So I also have a thing with the 4 C's when it comes to...
4 C's?
It's the 4 C's.
Break it down.
Consistency. When I'm looking for someone that I'm considering. Consistency.
For sex or?
No. Not for sex. Considering.
Did you not think the same thing?
A relationship. I'm flipping the script.
I'm going to see if this is the person I'm going to let hit it.
Oh, no.
Did you pass the
I
4
told you
C's?
tequila is the thing, okay? That's what I said. That's when they might get it. I didn't say can or will. I said they might
Pass,
get
go,
it.
collect 200. Tequila.
But no, what I was going to say, when I'm actually considering moving forward, being with a man who is interested in me, dating. No, collecting data, right? I'm going to consider the 4 C's over at least a month. time for me, because in a month I'm 51. So if I'm dating a guy who's 56 or 55, even if they're 45, like in a month I'm kind of gonna know if I'm gonna continue to give them the energy. But consistency, compassion, that's not natural for a man. But if a man shows any type of compassion
Give me an example when you
towards
say compassion.
my circumstance, oh, okay, I want us to hang out, right? But okay, I want to hang out. Let's actually go out on a date on Tuesday. And then my son has a track meet at 4 o'clock. And at 2 o'clock or at 12 o'clock, I realize, shoot, my son has a track meet. Let me call Joe and just let him know, you know what? My son has a track meet. Can we get a rain check and maybe do it on Friday? Compassion and consideration, those are 2 out of the 4, is, you know what? I understand. Let's take a rain check. Have a great meet. Hope your son wins. Compassion is, you know what? My heart goes out to you. You got a lot going on. How can I support? Or how can I help make, the load easy on you? And not necessarily having to be around my son. But maybe when you're done, I'm gonna have dinner. Come pick it up. Or something like that. Just an example.
Do you require men that you're dating while you're vetting, you require them paying your bills?
No, absolutely not.
She looking like what? Somebody you said she was
Dating.
speak for yourself.
You said dating.
Huh?
You said dating. Because dating is different from being in a
While
relationship.
you're making an evaluation in terms of if you're going to be exclusive with them, do you have a requirement for them paying your bills?
No.
Okay. Do you ever have a requirement prior to marriage for the man to pay your bills?
I feel like if we're in a committed relationship,
Okay.
we get to see how we handle certain business.
So he's got to do your nails and
No,
whatnot,
I'm gonna
whatever?
do that anyway.
Okay.
I've been doing that before he even came in my life. Now, I've had men just be like, oh, go get your nails done, go get your toes done, go get your hair done. I've had men do that. Is it a requirement?
As a requirement. I'm not saying that a nice gesture. As a requirement.
As a requirement, it's not.
I'm just curious. What do you guys think on that? Would you guys require a guy to pay your bills, get your hair done?
While you're dating them.
Oh, so wait a minute. So you're now back. Wait a minute. So when does the requirement start? Okay.
So what about
marriage?
you're engaged?
I wouldn't say married, not for me.
What if you're engaged or you're like exclusively dating this person?
Podcast pivot real quick. So really quick. So wait a minute. So you said not necessarily marriage. So when in this time from you meet him,
My hair, my nails, like little stuff.
whatever, go shopping on Rodeo, whatever. No. We're talking about we're not talking about nice gestures.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about requirements.
Or bills. I don't require you paying my bills.
Are you just saying because you're on camera right now?
No, I don't.
So he might be looking and so forth. I don't know. Let me just make sure.
I don't think until marriage, I would feel like we would have to be talking maybe over a year. Like we have to be serious. Like it would have to be serious. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
But if you're trying to build something together,
Yeah.
so you reach
It's a requirement?
Yeah.
I would say after a year. After a year, you're established on, okay, are we really in it for the next phase? Okay, great. And for me, that consideration and compassion comes in. Communication, right? Consideration, compassion, and commitment.
But I would also assume
Comes with the commitment.
We have the commitment, yeah. But it's also safe to say, as I try to work the camera, the audience here as well. It's I assume if we're at the level of talking about getting your hair did, we're also done did. It's a black show. That we're talking about other things that would elevate the relationship in terms of the sort of the permanency of the relationship too as well. So that would be just a natural byproduct. So it was just not like a one-off. It's not like you got my hair done, but don't mean that you can come over here after 9 o'clock or something like that. So.
Ooh, I got something on that for that.
You know, we could pull a chair up here if you want to and sit up and explain. No.
I'm a lover girl, so it just depends.
Yo, what kind of girl?
I'm a lover girl.
A lover girl? Okay. A hopeless
I would
romantic.
say,
Hopeless romantic.
Okay.
you know, but I don't know. I get turned off pretty quickly, so.
Do you? Show me. I'm curious. So, what are your requirements? Do you require
Uh-oh.
men to pay your bills?
Boo thing.
I think it should just be a natural thing that just kind of plays into itself.
Mhm.
I never really ask for, it's not, I don't wake up and say, he better do blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He just automatically should know certain things that needs to be done.
That consideration.
He should have known to pay my mortgage.
Mortgage.
Just things like if he sees that, like, okay, like if I have a flat tire, and he was like, oh, I'll pay for the tire to get fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or I'm hungry, okay, I'll send you. It's just automatic. I think when
That's a role, gender role
Yeah,
type of thing.
Yeah, so I don't think I would say that you have to. I think you should know.
But if you don't do it, when you start acting funny, he should know what's up, right?
Probably.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good question. Because I just had a conversation.
It's like, what's the difference?
Well, I just think a man should know.
Yeah.
Like we know.
Yeah. I mean, y'all want us to lay up
So if you don't
with
know,
y'all.
it's
So.
not. You want the cake.
You want the cake?
Oh!
The cakes and the cookies? Then you got to then. Like we should know.
I'd like to add something.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
I don't think that that's fair. And the reason I don't think that's a fair assessment is because we're not women. I think that women expect men to behave like other women do. We won't know because we're not a woman. We don't know what's in your mind. We can't read your mind. But I think it would be helpful if you say what it is that you would like or what your preference is, and then from that statement, we can definitely take over and be like, okay, she told me that this is her preference. She told me that this is what she likes. So I'm going to do that.
Men are not hairy women.
Yes. But if it's something that happened, like I said, if I gave example of my tire, then I'm on the phone with you and I'm claiming
In those aspects, for sure, I agree.
then that's something
Yeah,
like that. But
something
yes,
like that.
I agree. I think it should be both.
Yeah.
So some things that I will tell you, this is what I like, this is how I want it, this blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if I will tell you that that you have to purchase or it's something as a, something based like that. That would be based on things that I like. Then yes, I would tell you. But certain things that goes on in a woman's household, for example, most of us are grown, most of us are homeowners, right? And let's say the plumbing is messed up, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the plumbing. Well, that's when the man comes in. I don't have to tell you, hey, can you call to find a plumber to come? You should say, hold on, I got it, let me take care of it. So that's what I mean by that. So it's not transactional.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that.
So if you don't know that that's a part of a man's role, that kind of from old school, what the woman does, what the man does, whatever. So if I'm looking for a gardener and you're sitting there and you don't help me, it's like what are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah, you should say, oh, I help you look for a gardener, or I help you do it. If I'm out there doing my own yard, then either I'm gonna get you a gardener or I'm gonna help you do it.
Yeah.
So,
I think
so if you don't say, hey, I'm gonna help you mow your grass or get you a gardener, you're not for me.
Sure.
Because you shouldn't be watching me do that.
And I would agree. I think where I'm coming from is kind of what they were talking about earlier, which is things that are like
Required.
Or is it?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
oh, am I expecting this guy to just know that I'm wanting to pay me?
Yeah, no, that's transaction, yeah, so it's different, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Both of
different.
them, we are getting
You should know I want a burqa bag.
Under the burger.
They're natural providers, like they would know.
Yeah, some men are,
They would know to do those things, like I shouldn't have to tell you how to be a man.
but some men are just pompous and like, I ain't gonna do it.
And
You know what I
some
mean?
have been around, they have had a father, so
They've seen it.
how the operation works. And or, you know, their mom, they've been, or sisters. See, it's good to marry a man sometimes that have sisters, and they're older, and they had to kind of
See, they seen,
groom them and
yeah.
oversee them, then they know what a woman needs.
Yes.
So,
Well, I just want to say for the record, I would do anything for you.
Oh, ain't that sweet? Boo thing.
Cody, go ahead, bro.
I have a
if a woman, you're dating, let's say 6 months, when I was out in the field, I would always put them on a 90 days, kind of like a job.
Yeah.
90 days. I figured if the same character is the same in 90 days, and like you said, the 30 days, they're going to show off.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you can determine and take it from there. But if they stay consistent on those 90 days, you're based on personality, communication. Let's say she has a pet, how you treat a pet says a lot.
That's
I
good.
remember
That's
going out on
good.
a date and I had my 2 dogs, they were both females, Katie and Lady. And this girl, I said, you know what? Let me make you dinner. So she came over for dinner and she goes, oh, you said you have 2 dogs. I said, yeah. Katie, Lady, they weren't jumping on her, they were just, whacking
Right.
themselves. She goes, oh, please get these dogs off. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a crusher for me.
Yeah, that-
Okay,
I mean-
you know what? I think this date's over.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna be with somebody, they have to love animals.
Cats,
And if they don't
cats
necessarily-
Cats, dogs.
That's good. I like that because I
'Cause
actually.
my wife, she loves cats.
Okay.
And I love cats too, but long hairs, because I have asthma. There's certain, I have to take allergies, but I wouldn't mind it. I have a female pit bull. She would eat her.
Oh.
But the whole point is, I think I
That
totally
matters.
agree with you when you said. My question was, if a girl initiates, you've been with her for, let's say, dating for 90 days, whatever, and it's your birthday. Tony, I want to take you out. Let's go out to dinner. What does that mean? I mean, is she gonna pick up the tab?
Say the words again. What was the question? If she says
It's your birthday. Let me take you out to dinner. I want to take you out to
She
dinner.
pays.
Not let me take you out.
She pays. She paid.
Right.
If
pays,
she
right?
offered to take you to
I
dinner,
was
she
with
pays.
This girl, I'm not gonna mention her name, but it was like 2-3 months out, and she says, "Oh, it's your birthday. Let me take you out to dinner." I'm like, "All right." Went out to dinner. Here comes the bill, and immediately I'm ready to pay for it. That's just the way I was raised. But I just wanted to see
What she was
this
gonna
like
do.
This was a good
Test.
I excused myself into the bathroom, came back, and I thought, that should be enough time. Put the car down or something.
Right, right.
I came back, the bill was still sitting there, and the waiter comes up and he goes, is there anything else you guys want? And
Hint, hint.
That's the most awkward.
And it's okay, but it was a $150 lesson for me that, you know what, you showed up. Now I know what you're all about.
But she was taking you out for your birthday.
Right.
And she expected you to pay for
And
it.
she was expecting me, and then when I
Okay. Okay.
when we were driving back, I expressed it because it was really eating me up, and it's all about that
Right.
communication.
Absolutely.
So I explained to her how I felt. I didn't say you. I said when this presented itself, it made me feel very uncomfortable. And the way I like to do is kind of make them go outside, look in, see what they're hurting.
She left that bill. Dang, bro.
What did she
Well,
say?
I expect demanded.
Oh.
I went, wow, okay.
That-
I didn't argue. It was like,
So
that
those
was
are the
enough for me.
questions for
As they say in
me.
Italian, levate le mani.
Right. Those are the questions for me that before that even happens, that's a question that needs to be asked. So how do you feel if I asked you out to dinner? Who should be responsible for the bill? How do you feel about that? Should I? Or that's a question
That's a legit.
that I feel like people don't ask, and then you get into those situations, and then you're like looking at each other.
Look, I got a friend of mine, and she's kind of cute. She says even if she asks the guy out, that he has to pick up the check.
She needs to let him know that,
I was like,
because then that gives him a choice to decide. Oh yeah, no, I ain't doing that.
I'll get your check though.
Dutch.
But no, I'm just saying that's part of, so the 4 C's. So you have consideration, compassion, communication, right? And commitment. If I don't get that out of, at least within the first 90 days,
What
give
is
me
it, the
2
man-
out of in the first 60 days, give me 2.
Well,
You know?
I'm curious. What is a man could do in the first 90 days that would underscore to you, from your vantage point, that he's committed?
Say that one more time.
Okay, what is it? What happens within that first 90 days that you talked about that a man does when you can clearly see from your vantage point he's committed to you? What is he doing? What does that look like where you say, oh yeah, he's about me for sure?
What is he doing? Well, he keeps showing up for sure. Like meaning communicating, making it known that you're in his thoughts. So I love good morning texts. I love that. I might be in the rotation. But then after like 60 days, you keep doing it. And not only just that, you might even pick up the phone and call, hey, I was thinking about you. How's your day going? You good? You need anything? Like that's a consideration. And to me, that's letting me know that you're interested. Like, right? And then also too, like, I have kids or whatever, you asking me, hey, when do you have the kids? Because I was thinking maybe we can go spend some time, or maybe we can go on a trip. I mean, it doesn't have to be a trip, but at least you're thinking that she has kids. I do want to spend time with her. So let me check her schedule to see if this is a good time to meet, or when is a good time for us to get together.
So can I add something to
Yes.
that? And this got two other men here. Tell me if you agree with this. This is how you know if he's committed. He wants to know you dating somebody else. He wants to know to what degree are you guys exclusive. He wants to know if there is anybody else around. And if he's really serious, he probably gonna kind of try to kick the tire, see what that's like early on. Would you guys agree? You don't agree with that?
Early on, though, I wouldn't say the first month.
Well, I'm just saying early on, whatever. What would you say, Sonny? That what one of the signs that would suggest that he's into her, that she will read as, okay, he's trying to like.
Depending on the amount of time, but he's making future plans.
Depending on the
Talking
amount of
about,
time.
like things that are stable that include the other person. For example, if I'm talking about where I'm moving next, let's say we've been dating for a year or something, and I'm about to move, I'm not going to move further away from the person that I'm dating. If I'm like, okay, I'm going to move here because I'm considering where this person lives in relation also to where I might be working or where I'm doing business, because I want to be close
To them.
enough to them.
Are you not concerned if she's dating somebody else?
You'll know. I don't really think about that, bro. Like,
Okay.
you'll know.
Okay.
You'll know.
Tony, you same way?
I'm not into multi-dating, so I'm the one.
Yeah.
I don't know how guys.
I like that.
It's like it's trying to convince one and trying to communicate with one and being with one woman. That's a lot, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to get out.
Bruh, I am so clear. I want to get folk on the record. I want to make sure if my investment time is being reciprocated, because if I'm all about her, I want to make sure it matches.
Right.
And if it don't match, I say, okay, so I can just kind of adjust. I mean, no hate, but it's like
But if you're in the beginning stages, like I'm in the dating realm right now, and I've had a guy
doesn't matter.
openly tell me the first day, like,
Not
of
the first
interest.
day. I remember saying the first day, not even the first couple of weeks. I'm referring to maybe like after a month or so. I kind of want to know, is there someone else that you are talking to?
But you don't think, no.
So, I'm not going. You know what? Okay, okay. Maybe I'm just a little bit different, right? I am not going to trust my instincts in terms of, I don't think she's dating somebody else. I'm going to ask. I want to know for sure. My instinct may tell me that's what the case is. I say, it's probably a dumb question, but you're not dating somebody else. Right? I'll probably do something like that.
That does show that you like are really interested.
Right. That's my
That
point.
does.
That's my point.
That does.
If they are dating someone else.
In that month, you said month or.
So I said, oh, and I probably will ask, so how do you see us? And she said, well, such and such. Now, for me, other guys may want to kind of compete and whatever else. If I feel like I made a great effort of going towards exclusivity, and then I ask you a question to confirm it, and you're still seeing somebody else, I'm cutting bait. No questions asked. Why you don't call so much more? Oh, no, I know that you're kind of busy with dating other dudes.
I'm with that. Well, see, okay, so what I like is being upfront from the gate, because some guys will go into beginning stages as if you are the one. Like, and then they're lying. Then you find out they lying like a month later, right? So I would respect it if up front you're telling me, hey, I'm interested. I find you're, very intriguing. I would like to go on a date with you, but I also, am kind of like dating openly. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least you gave me a choice to whether or not go on the first date, or not. Because I know me, I can't date multiple. Like, for me, if I'm really interested in a person and I've dated like maybe 2 or 3 guys, but this one person, I know that's that person, then I'm going to focus on that person. And then if they're dating other people, I'm going to be like, hey, look, I find myself getting more and more attracted to you. Maybe I should fall back because I know you said you were dating other people. And then you take the lead if you're ever interested and I'm still around. Like, I need to have that conversation.
Most guys, I
Instead of
would,
guessing.
I would think if they are fixated on you, it's quite possible they could be dating others and you just rise to the top. At some point, they're going to begin to cut bait with everybody else.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just saying there's going to be some questions kind of trying to figure that out. I would not just risk it to. It's like you see him at the movies, but I thought we never talked about that.
Why I say you would know. This is me personally. I don't know what anybody else is saying.
Right.
I say that I would know because the woman is usually the one that would ask that question.
Ooh, that's what I was thinking.
So if they, I in my mind might take them seriously, but I also need to know that they're taking me seriously, and they will tell me or ask me, hey, are you seeing anybody else right now, or like, how do you feel about us being exclusive or anything like that? All right, cool. Now you ask that, we locked in.
But I think
So the person that probably asked the question probably is the person who may feel so they have the most to lose. Meaning that the emotional investment is getting to a place outside the comfort zone of what they would normally do, just maybe recreationally dating. And so the question will come to say, well, okay, now I just kind of want to see what's going on here. I mean, there's levels to this, right?
That's why I say that you should know, because that's, I'm agreeing with you, because at the same time, you should kind of already know the direction in which you're going. Right?
It seems that way.
Yeah, so like.
Trust me, it seems that way, and I have been sadly mistaken.
After 90 days.
No, I do like you a lot. And I like those other 5 too, really well. And when I'm with you, I'm with you. Bruh.
a lot of men don't typically ask that question. It is the
The
woman.
person who
But if
probably,
a man asks that question, you can see that, okay, he's dead ass,
Yeah.
like serious.
particularly when you're like, you want to get, you're serious where you're
Yeah.
trying to get out the game. So, Tony, you want to say something?
Yeah, I've been around the sun
We'll give
65 times. Like, can you tell me?
65.
Sonny.
I am.
We're going to wrap it up.
All right, been around the baby boomers. In those 65 years, it really comes down to, because we really don't know how this person really is. I don't know where she comes from, how she was raised. You don't, so you're trying to establish, there's so many spectrums that goes into play into this supposedly first time dating this person. So you don't know. I mean, people say, if you come from a well-educated, well-rounded family, 99.9, you're going to become a really good, decent. I don't know about the Menendez brothers. They were pretty wealthy and ended up killing their parents. That being said, but it's a true fact. I just don't know. We just really don't know. So I agree. The 90 days, I kind of like that number. And I think if we pay attention, if we're really into the woman, I say, guys, if you're listening right now, don't play with them.
Don't play with the
Don't
feelings.
play. Just be honest and just look.
Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it.
There's nothing wrong with it, because when she says, "Well, I'm not that into you that way."
Then,
We
yeah,
didn't spin like wheels. We didn't spend 3
Right.
years, a year, 6 months, whatever. My granddaughter just turning 21, and this is the first time she's dating somebody. And she goes, "Grandpa, what should I say?" I'm like, "Say it whatever." She goes, "All right, we kind of went out on a few dates. I'm really into you." He goes, "Wow, I'm really into you too."
I love that. I love that.
So that's just in that young generation, but it can follow them.
Yeah, it definitely can. Like, you have to have that communication. Part of the 4 C's, communication is key. It is for sure.
Sonny, I do have to say, that was perfect. It's all about communication.
It's all about communication.
Because in communication, you're going to discover
You get to
if we're into
see.
each other or we're not able to.
And if you're not communicating, I don't want it.
Exactly. And if you have a hard time communicating, learn to communicate.
Right.
Okay, Charmaine and then.
Do you think you need to communicate early on when you are a single mom?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, do I feel like you need to communicate early on as a single mom? Absolutely, because I'm not wasting my time. If I'm carving time off of my plate for you, I'm interested, right? Even if it is for the first date, at least the first date I'm gonna see. But if I'm giving you 2, 3, 4 dates, I'm calling you, we're talking to each other throughout the day, and that's time that I could be doing something else. So absolutely, like I feel like that should be the communication should be early on, so that we can decipher if my time is worth it or not, and vice versa. Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question for you. If a guy that you just started dating and you have kids and he tells you, look, I don't know where this is going, so let's not get the kids involved. I'm into you, you're into me, but we don't know where this is going to go.
After 6 months?
No. Let's just say after a month, let's say.
Oh yeah, I'm not introducing my
And if he
kids.
tells you, I don't want to meet the kids yet because we're trying to establish something here.
I respect that
Would
because
you honor that?
yeah, because I feel like I think she asked the question earlier. At what time, as a single mom, at this time, my kids are teens, would I introduce them to the gentleman if I'm dating right now? And I say 6 months. Yeah, we would have to reevaluate. If after a year we're still trying to question that, again, I don't have time. We have less time ahead of us than we have behind us. I'm not a serial dater. I'm not just a recreational dater. If I'm giving you a year, that's 6 months. We're gonna decipher. Okay, should we move on? 6 months later.
That's a lot of time. But if you've been intentional, you may have a question.
Well, I would say, how would you move forward? Like, I'm 33.
Young girl, you young girl.
I have a 3-year-old. And I tried to date. I tried to do the online.
There's no chance for you and the father?
No, that's
Okay.
that's not gonna work.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I tried to do the dating thing. Sometimes I just don't have time to date because I work. I have a crazy schedule, and it's just like I want to be able to meet people, but also I'm a single parent too, and he goes to daycare from this time to this time. And people that usually want to go on dates, usually it's like at nighttime, so it's really hard for me to go out and meet people because I don't really go out. Honestly, this is the first time I've been out in like a very, very long time.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of hard to like meet people when you don't really go out as much.
Right. So what's your question?
How would you move forward like to dating people? Like how do you put yourself out there?
Call Ayesha and say, is there something that I could go to and with you and whatever you came today and you got to invite to
You know what you
another
can do? Also,
function.
you can just walk right in front of the phone right there and just say, here I am, my IG. I'm just saying, y'all out there, here I am.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Well, you got to carve out time, just like you carve out time for your time with your son, outside of work. If dating and meeting, a qualified man is important for you, carve out a day during the week when you go out, if it's on a weekend or a weekday. Weekend, go golfing, go tennis, go to these outside yoga worlds. You've done that before, go to different places, but pick a day, schedule it. Because as
And
moms,
come
we got
to
to
the party
schedule.
next Saturday.
Yeah, and he has a party next Saturday.
Help me help y'all. Y'all all coming, right?
She coming. Come on, Courtney.
You coming, bro? Okay. You gonna be there
Just
too?
leave yourself open.
But as a mom and a working mom, you got to carve time out.
What I mean is leave yourself open for love, let's say. And what I mean by that is, does it have to be at a club? Does it have to be at a gym? It actually can go grocery shopping.
True.
You sit there and
Absolutely not.
Or you know what? One of my mentors used to go to a 5-star restaurant with his wife when he was dating her, and they would just go have dessert at that restaurant, just to sit in the environment. Dress up just like what you dressing up as. You look cute, and you sit up in one of those restaurants, and you just have dessert. Maybe not a full-on dinner, but like go out to places you wouldn't normally go out
I'll
to.
go to the Raps in the Ladera Center. I heard that's a big
Not
huge
ever,
pickup spot.
absolutely.
Right?
No.
I heard it's like a club.
Yeah.
Is that not the case no more?
Not together.
Raps Ladera Center? No?
So you should find a place, like, think about the things that you like. Like, there's black folks who hike, right? There's a whole group of that. And I've heard of so many of them have met, they're single, they met in the running days, running clubs. So those type of things, because people, also the other thing is that when you talk about quality, well, they've already invested and know that this is what they like to do. So go to find out those kind of things. Places where people have
Do you want to get married?
Me? Yeah, I do want to get married.
Do you want to have more kids?
She's
Okay,
young, too.
I may have someone. I may want to introduce you.
See, you came out. You might have a love connection.
He may be like 10 years older. Is that an issue?
No, my kids.
I'll see. Trying to take care of the.
Oh, your kid's father is 51. 43 is 10 years. That's still young. Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna date nobody older than me.
Well, that's not old, girl. That's
43 is young still, though. That's young.
You actually just told me like we just had this whole. You just said no, or you're saying
No,
no?
I didn't say no. I just said I'm open.
He's open, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's
Stay
necessarily like when you say you want to get married. If a 30-year-old or someone like that is the quality or at that, they're probably more likely immature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want
Yeah,
someone who's
somebody
mature,
who's
And more sure.
But sometimes age doesn't matter because you could be grown and
Right.
older than me, but still be
Yeah.
immature. And
You-
it's like,
Yeah.
You love Jesus?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
definitely gonna be a God-fearing man.
Okay, yeah.
That
So we'll say we got somebody. I'm doing Raz.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so look, you
You
done
may be
came out
listening.
tonight.
He said, "Who are you talking about, bro?" No,
When they go to the gym, they work out.
he works out.
Yeah.
Big time in the fitness, more bro. We're gonna get ready to wrap up here this stimulating discussion. So Ayesha,
Yes, sir.
could you? I want you to do two things. Just give us like a 30-second blurb of something that all single moms need, and particularly under that do. If you can incorporate something there that the guys need to know, that's great as well. But could you also talk a little bit more about the Zen Fit Flow Wellness Studio
Yes.
and invite people to come out?
Okay, well, the tip for single moms out here trying to figure it out and want to date, right? What you need to do, continue to work on you. Continue to grow to love yourself genuinely and know that you are enough. It doesn't take a man to have to validate that. So that's the one tip. As far as the Zen Fit Flow studio in Inglewood, California, soft opening was this past weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. We're going to do yoga, we're going to do sound bath, we're going to do HIIT, we're going to do everything that caters to the menopausal women. Is it only for menopausal women? No, it's for the community. But I'm targeting menopausal women because I am a perimenopausal woman, and I know what we need to be able to thrive in this space. So also too, if you have fitness events that you want to rent the space out for, like a birthday fitness event or any workshops, anything like that, it's open for that. I do body sculpting, so that's helping with the lymphatic drainage and detoxing in that manner, losing body fat. I also offer that there as well. So we will have a grand opening in January. That would be probably January, around the mid-January, for everybody to come out for free, to come see the space and come work out with us around that time. And until then, just watch my IG, watch my Facebook, Ayesha Roshaun on both handles, and also TikTok. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Let's give her a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Ayesha Roshaun Vines. I want to thank everyone for coming out and taking time to listen to Urban Birds and Bees. Again, we want to thank, big shout out to Ayesha.
Thank you.
And the discussion being how to date the single mom. Our next podcast will be virtual. We'll be talking to the one and only Michael Ferreira, and we'll be talking about men and their ability to dress for success in 2026. Until then, I am Dr. Kerry Neal, host and moderator for Urban Birds and Bees. We're out next time. Have a good evening. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.